I want to start this fall colors sketch using just a thin wash of cadmium yellow on dry paper. Touch of cadmium orange into it, so I'm going to use the bright yellows, reds, and oranges. Skipping around and leaving bits of white, I can always touch them with a clean brush if I want to soften them, but a bit of burnt sienna as I get into some of the darker areas near the edges, into the grassy stuff. Keeping it more on the brown side rather than green for this time of year. Even some cadmium red, just let it kind of bleed in from the top. Just jump back and forth with the mixture. Sometimes a little more yellow and orange. Just sort of underpainting this foreground now. Burnt sienna, sometimes with a bit of violet in it, makes it kind of rich, reddish brown. Now let it dry. I've got a toothbrush, and it's got a fine mix of burnt sienna, a bit of orange on it, but it was a bit too fine. I want to get a bit bigger splash, so I'll just add a bit more water, make it a wetter mix. And you can get as much of that texture as you like, but what I want to do now is add a bit of splash from just an ordinary synthetic brush. Tapping it will make even bigger dots. So now I've got a few different sizes, and I want to do some manual ones where I get little groups of leaves or cut around the lighter ones. So you get a good variety of patterns in the background. And now with burnt sienna and a little bit of ultramarine, or choose a bit of dioxazine violet or some fairly permanent violet to mix with your browns, just to get kind of a reddish, rich reddish trunk color. And just don't paint over all the leaves. Skip here and there, because there's going to be a lot of leaves in front of the branches. It looks better if it's sort of mingled in with the leaves. Now that's dry, and I can just take a thin brush and just fill in some of the distance, so it looks like there's a good forest going on back there. Gives it more dimension, a little bit of detail on the ground, on the grass. And I want to, there's a scrubbing brush. I cut down an old oil painting brush. I just want to add a bit of rough water off in the distance here. That's basically the first part.